There comes a moment in life when you've tried everything. You've planned, pushed, chased, and held on as tightly as you could. Yet the harder you hold, the more things seem to slip away. But what if the secret isn't in holding on tighter, but in learning how to let go? What if the very act of releasing control is what allows life to finally work in your favor? Because sometimes the moment you stop forcing things is the exact moment everything begins to fall into place. Most people believe that if they can control everything in their lives, they will avoid pain, failure, and uncertainty. They plan every detail, analyze every possibility, and try to predict every outcome. On the surface, this feels responsible and intelligent. But beneath it lies a quiet fear, the fear that if they loosen their grip even a little, everything will fall apart. The truth is that life was never designed to be controlled in that way. There are too many variables, too many unseen forces, and too many moments that unfold beyond our awareness. When a person tries to control every step of the journey, they unknowingly create tension within themselves. Their mind becomes constantly busy, worried about what might go wrong or what must happen next. This tension slowly drains their energy and clarity. Instead of being present and adaptable, they become rigid and anxious, always trying to force reality to match their expectations. Control also creates resistance. When you insist that life must unfold in a specific way, you close yourself off to the possibilities that exist outside that narrow path. Opportunities, relationships, and experiences that could lead to something even better often go unnoticed because they do not match the plan you created in your mind. In many cases, the things people fight the hardest to control are the very things that begin slipping away. Relationships feel pressured, decisions feel heavy, and the natural rhythm of life becomes blocked. The irony is that the more control a person seeks, the less peace they actually feel. Real strength comes not from tightening your grip on every outcome, but from understanding that some parts of life must remain uncertain. When you release the illusion that everything depends on your control, you free your mind from constant pressure and allow life to move with a natural intelligence that often knows paths your plans could never imagine. There is a powerful shift that happens when a person learns the difference between caring about something and being attached to it. Many people believe they must hold on tightly to their goals, relationships, and desires in order to keep them. They fear that if they loosen their grip, those things will disappear. But attachment often does the opposite of what we expect. When we become deeply attached to a specific outcome, our thoughts begin to revolve around it constantly. We start measuring our happiness by whether that outcome happens exactly the way we imagined. This creates pressure within the mind and emotions, and that pressure slowly turns into anxiety, fear, and frustration. Detachment does not mean indifference or a lack of effort. It simply means allowing space between your sense of peace and the result you are hoping for. You can still work towards something, care deeply about it, and give it your best energy, but you are no longer emotionally dependent on it happening in a particular way. When that space is created, something remarkable happens inside you. Your mind becomes calmer, your decisions become clearer, and your energy becomes lighter. Instead of forcing life to move in a specific direction, you begin to move with greater awareness and flexibility. This space also allows unexpected possibilities to enter your life. When your mind is not locked onto only one outcome, you begin to notice opportunities that were invisible before. Conversations feel more natural, ideas appear more easily, and people are drawn to your relaxed and confident presence. Life has room to rearrange itself in ways you could never plan. Sometimes the very thing you were hoping for returns to you in a better form, and other times something entirely new appears that fits your life even more perfectly. By releasing attachment, you are not losing control of your future. You are simply allowing life the freedom to deliver outcomes greater than the ones you originally imagined. Trusting the process is one of the most difficult things for people to practice because the human mind naturally wants certainty. We want to know how things will turn out, when success will arrive, and whether our efforts will lead to the results we hope for. When answers do not appear immediately, doubt begins to grow. People start questioning their path, their abilities, and even the meaning behind their efforts. In those moments, it can feel as if nothing is working, as if every step forward is uncertain and fragile. This is where many people make the mistake of believing that letting go means giving up. They assume that if they stop pushing and worrying constantly, they are somehow abandoning their goals. In reality, trusting the process is not about quitting or becoming passive. It is about continuing to move forward while accepting that the journey will not always reveal itself all at once. Life unfolds step by step, often in ways that only make sense after enough time has passed. Many of the most meaningful opportunities in a person's life arrive through unexpected paths. A delay that once felt frustrating may later reveal itself as protection from something that was not meant for you. A challenge that seemed unfair may eventually build the strength or wisdom needed for a future opportunity. When people trust the process, they allow themselves to focus on the present moment rather than becoming trapped in constant worry about the future. Their attention shifts toward learning, improving, and taking consistent action even when the full picture is not visible. This mindset creates resilience. Instead of feeling defeated by uncertainty, a person begins to see it as part of the journey. They understand that growth often happens quietly, beneath the surface, before visible results appear. By trusting that each step has value, even when the outcome is unclear, they remain steady and patient, allowing life to unfold in its own timing while they continue moving forward with confidence and purpose. There is an invisible energy behind every thought, emotion, and intention a person carries. When someone is constantly chasing, forcing, and worrying about outcomes, that energy becomes heavy and tense. Their mind is always focused on what they lack, what might go wrong, or what they fear losing. Even if they are working hard and taking action, the emotional state behind those actions can create resistance. People around them can often feel this pressure without even realizing it. Conversations may feel forced, decisions may feel rushed, and opportunities may seem just out of reach. This is because the energy of desperation pushes outward, creating a sense that something is being demanded rather than naturally received. The moment a person begins to surrender control, their internal state starts to change. Surrender does not mean giving up on dreams or ambitions. It simply means releasing the emotional tension attached to them. Instead of operating from fear or urgency, a person begins acting from clarity and calmness. Their thoughts become more focused, and their actions become more intentional rather than reactive. This shift in energy changes the way they interact with the world. When someone is calm and grounded, they naturally become more open, more present, and more aware of what is happening around them. This change often creates a powerful ripple effect. People are drawn toward those who carry a sense of ease and confidence rather than pressure. Opportunities appear more naturally because the person is no longer forcing outcomes. They are allowing situations to unfold while still taking meaningful steps forward. The energy of surrender creates space for creativity, intuition, and connection to emerge. Instead of constantly chasing what they want, a person begins to attract the right people, ideas, and circumstances into their life, simply because their presence no longer pushes life away, but invites it in. One of the deepest fears people carry is the fear of losing something important to them. It could be a relationship, an opportunity, a dream, or a part of the life they have worked hard to build. Because of this fear, many people hold on tightly, believing that if they just try harder, control more, or refuse to let go, they can prevent things from slipping away. Yet life often shows us that holding on too tightly can create the very outcome we are trying to avoid. When we grip something out of fear, we place pressure on it. Relationships can feel suffocating, opportunities can feel forced, and even our own dreams can begin to feel exhausting rather than inspiring. Letting go requires courage because it asks us to release the belief that we must control everything in order to keep it. When a person truly lets go, they stop acting from fear of loss. Instead, they begin to trust that what is genuinely aligned with their life will remain or return in the right way. This shift creates emotional freedom. Without the constant fear of losing something, a person becomes calmer, more present, and more open to whatever life brings next. Something powerful often happens in the space of release. The things that were never truly meant to stay begin to fade naturally from life. While this can feel uncomfortable at first, it also clears space for what truly belongs. At the same time, the things that are genuinely aligned with who you are and where you are going have a strange way of finding their path back to you. Sometimes they return stronger than before. Sometimes they appear in a new form. And sometimes they arrive as something entirely different, but even more fitting. By letting go of fear and trusting that life has its own way of arranging what belongs in your path, you allow what is truly meant for you to return with greater clarity, balance, and purpose.